Welcome to the Week 3 wrap-up for entrepreneurial operations launching a startup. During Week 3, we had the opportunity to consider and discuss the final two stages of the startup value chain: deliver and maintain. In Week 3, we continued to use the value chain canvas as a way to think about the specific activities, processes, partnerships, and key performance indicators for the final two stages of the value chain: deliver and maintain. One of the benefits of using the value chain canvas is it allows us to consider these two stages in a systematic manner. So for source, produce, deliver, and maintain, we make sure we have thought about our operations end to end in detail and that we haven't overlooked any important elements. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts about the content and the material that we've been discussing in Week 3, and I'm sure you've had some of these thoughts yourself. The first is the importance of the role of operations in building customer relationships. While we spent a lot of time in Week 2 talking about source and produce, the question then becomes, how do we reach a global customer base and build those new customer relationships? In this segment of the course, we talked about the role of an indirect versus a direct distribution channel, and there are certainly pros and cons of both. As a startup, you have limited capital, limited time, limited resources, and so to build out an entire direct distribution channel strategy may be prohibitive, and so this is where partnerships are a wonderful alternative. However, as a startup, you're also looking to understand your customers in an intimate way, and so just a word of caution, as sure you've heard through the videos from the startups and entrepreneurs themselves, the challenges of leveraging an indirect distribution channel partnership strategy to the extent that you do lose touch with some of your customers as you try to build those new relationships. And the final stage is the maintain stage, a stage that we often forget about, which is what happens after the sale. We found the customers, we've built out the global network of customers, we've sold them our products and services, and they're delighted with them. But don't forget what happens after the sale. So in the maintain stage, the final stage of the customer journey, as I like to call it, we do spend some time this week talking about post-sales activities and processes that we need to think about for the operations. So as a startup, it's wonderful to think about source and produce, but also critical to think about what happens, how do we find our customers, and what happens after the sale. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are well on our way. We've completed weeks 1, 2, and 3, and now we are looking ahead to week 4. In week 4, we're going to take a look back at the operations value chain canvas and think through, for all 4 stages of the canvas: source, produce, deliver, and maintain. Thinking through our operations, what are some potential startup risks in each of these stages, and what are some potential scale-up risks? This is an interesting and exciting conversation. We'll hear from the startups and the entrepreneurs again firsthand some of the risks that they encountered. So look forward to seeing you in week 4.